welcome to Diecast Restos. I'm Jason with another model in for a custom commission job. Kyle emailed me asking for a replica of his Golf GTI using Bburago's 1:62 scale model of a 2017 5-door car. He sent me a pair of brand new castings, mostly because I needed a safety net, having never worked on a Bburago before. This is how Kyle's car looks. If all went well, I'd send him two versions of his car with his two different sets of wheels fitted. I had terrible trouble taking this model apart. Try as I might, the base would not disconnect at the front rivet post. This meant I ended up bending and snapping the base. I decided that I would carry on working on it in the hope that I could repair it. Meanwhile, I dismantled the other casting successfully off camera with my newfound knowledge about how it is constructed. The rooftop rivet post secured the separate rear and cabin windows, while the push-fit rear lights are forced out with a precision screwdriver. The main window piece was a pain to remove, as much as it was a pain to replace again later on. But those were the extent of my problems with this model. Everything else went far smoother. So Kyle tells me his Golf is a 2019 GTI Autobahn with the DSG transmission. After a serious car crash in January 2023, Kyle was in need of a new set of wheels. This Golf was on sale at the dealership he works at, and he snapped it up, thinking it would be a temporary fix. He had his eye on the new Golf R, but instead he fell in love with his GTI. Aside from the door decal I'll be adding at scale later on, the car is completely stock. Kyle plans to change the exhaust in future and start tuning it after the warranty expires. Well, that caustic soda didn't work too well at all, did it? Let's see how both castings fare in the liquid paint stripper instead. Once I've stripped and primed it, I'll be painting it white and giving it a pearl clear coat to match the metallic pearl of Kyle's car. To set it apart though, I needed two sets of wheels matching Kyle's real sets. Both of these are from the Diecast Details shop, with these OEMs looking the better match. Here I'm gluing back together the base that I broke. Hopefully this fits well enough that you may not be able to tell it ever happened. So Kyle's Golf is a late Mk7 GTI, and as it is a post 2017 facelift model, these are referred to as the Mark 7.5. The Golf legacy stretches back to 1974, with the 7th iteration arriving in 2012. It continued to share its MQB platform with other Volkswagen Group stablemates such as the Audi A3 and Seat Leon. Compared to its predecessor, the Mk6, the Mk7 is 100 kg lighter thanks to advanced engineering and the use of high-strength steel. It has a longer wheelbase, wider track and lower stance, which enhanced stability and handling. The exterior design of the Golf Mk7 retained the classic Golf silhouette, but introduced sharper lines and a more aerodynamic profile. The front end features a more prominent grille and angular headlights, modernising its appearance. Inside, the Mk7 offered a more spacious and refined cabin. High quality materials, an intuitive layout and advanced technology were hallmarks of its interior. Standard features included a 5.8-inch touchscreen infotainment system, Bluetooth connectivity and a multifunction steering wheel. Volkswagen also introduced the digital cockpit in higher trims, which replaced the traditional gauges with a customizable digital display. Golfs were equipped with advanced safety features including adaptive cruise control, lane assist and city emergency braking. Engines ranged from the 1.2 litre TSI petrol engine to a 2 litre TDI diesel. Performance variants such as the GTI had a 2 litre turbocharged petrol engine which produced 227 horsepower, while the Golf R pushed out 292 horsepower plus featured all-wheel drive. Blue Motion technology in certain models also helped to optimise fuel efficiency and reduce emissions. The all-electric e-Golf was first offered from 2014 with its 100 kW battery motor. The Mk7 Golf was a global hit, winning numerous awards including the 2013 European Car of the Year and 2013 World Car of the Year. In 2019, Volkswagen introduced the Golf Mk8, building on the success of the Mk7 with even more advanced technology and features. Production of the Mk7 ceased in 2020, though it did continue in Mexico until 2021. Now though, I've been busy detailing Kyle's Golf since I painted it pearl white. There's extensive black detailing to be done to match the features of his car. I don't think my detailing will ever look as crisp as the factory printed tampos, but I give it my best shot. I need to lay down some base chrome for the rear reflectors as well as for the glass on the side mirrors. Over the rear base goes red Sharpie, which once dry I will coat in Citadel Gloss Nuln Oil. Next, I add on the distinctive red markings signifying a GTI model. The plastic light fittings have red stripes printed onto them to wrap the design around the entire front of the car. Meanwhile, I've been filling out the detailed underside with some more chrome. These decals I created myself to replicate Kyle's additions to his car. Instead of on the lower portions of the doors, I decided to place these just below in order to avoid cutting the decals. I thought this would be a marginal visual difference that would benefit the overall look. Sometimes sliced decals leave a white line where the ink separates. It was while applying Citadel gloss to the front of the models that I realised I'd forgotten to print out any VW emblem decals. So those are added front and rear to help complete the look of both cars. The decals are sealed with Mr. Mark's softer solution before I move on to clear coating the castings. This model is a little trickier than most to reassemble. A few of the plastic tabs that help secure the lights broke off during the dismantling phase, so I used a drop of glue to replace those clips where needed. Just like the disassembly, trying to put the window piece back in was a testing process. But eventually I figured that a front entry point was the only way it was going in. Everything, including that separate rear window, clicks back into place nicely. Then I can add in a couple of neat finishing touches. With the wheels already sitting underneath the suspension piece, I can now reassemble the rest of the model. The dashboard part goes in first, securing over a tiny little post in the centre of the casting. Next it's the main interior piece, which tidily slides its parcel shelf over that rear rivet post. Lastly, the base pushes over the two posts and is fixed in position with a pair of 3mm M2 screws. This was how one of Kyle's Bburago VW Golf GTI models looked when he sent them over to me for customization. As I experienced, it is an over-engineered casting, quite accurate too, but perhaps riding a little too low on wheels that I think cheapen its overall appearance. But with a couple of new sets of wheels, a set of decals, and some light additional details, I've attempted to turn these into replicas of Kyle's GTI. And here is the first one. It has been given a set of wheels that are fairly close to the Sparco set on Kyle's car in this photo here. They fit really well, with the tyres just skirting the arches. Some of the details differ slightly from the original, but I think they are a touch more accurate than the Bburago offering. I quite like how the tailpipes have turned out, they look really effective. Now let's see the other model. This is the one with the bodged base, but you can barely tell thankfully. I have to say I actually prefer this one with the original Volkswagen double 5-spokes, but in reality I prefer the Sparco set on Kyle's car. Tell me which model you prefer in the comments. You can see both examples alongside one another in the video outro. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe before leaving. But all that leaves me to say is thanks for watching, and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.